Hi and Assalamualaikum to Sir Nasharuddin Hanif. Today I and my team member we want to present our business ethic group assignment topic, which is service provider of Asia company. Okay, next slide. So this is my team member that will present for today. First, Nofarisha binti Muhammad Saleh. Second, me, Nik Juliza binti Jali. Third is Putri Iman Nadira binti Nuzul Farouk. Fourth, Muhammad Zahri bin Suami. Fifth, Farish Habil Dani bin Muhammad Faris. And lastly, Faharna binti Muhammad Faris. Okay, so this is what our group want to present and discuss for today. And for the next slide, Farisha will continue.
Alright, so AirAsia has begun their company with the aim to serve as the largest low-cost airline with the purpose of letting everyone have the opportunity to fly. When it was first launched in 2001, it was transferred ownership to a committed entrepreneur that puts the consumer perceptions and the employees' concern beforehand, as he knows that both determine the possibility of building and sustaining the airline. After succeeding in becoming the world's largest low-cost airline in Asia, the company proudly brought the theme of Truly Asian. Being a company known for providing low fares, it has become an issue in 2021 when the airfares to Sarawak have risen to an unbelievably high price and has turned AirAsia into a nasty choice to fly with. On the other hand, AirAsia has defended their price with an explanation that the price has risen because of the limited number of flights that are allowed to Sarawak, which makes it hard for them to provide a reasonable price as they usually offer their beloved customers. As a responsible airline, they have to adhere to the command of the Ministry of Transport Sarawak (MOTS) and Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee (SDMC). Now moving on to the mission. Next slide. So the mission list of the company begins with prioritizing the relationship with the employees. AirAsia would nail down every employee to be working towards the same passion and mission of the company. Everyone must understand the aim of Now Everyone Can Fly is the core of their mission. Settings, therefore, their company will always navigate towards low cost in products and services. AirAsia believes that taking care of the employees mentally and physically by keeping them happy to work will result in good performance of the company. They do not practice seniority to avoid the gap in their relationship between the board of directors, managers, and other employees, which they call a boundaryless organization. Despite their position in their company, they call each other by their first name as long as it is proper and appropriate. The next mission in the list is to be recognized as the brand of Asia all around the world. This mission has been supported with the award of Best Low-Cost Airline Award in 2021. Business Traveler Asia Pacific hearing the performance of the brands listed in their magazine directly from customer feedback. AirAsia has also managed to keep their objectives straight when they are awarded with Asia's leading low-cost airline 2021, as well as Asia's leading low-cost airline cabin crew 2021 at World Travel Awards. Customers are known for going for low fares when they choose AirAsia to fly, which leads to the next mission of the company of keeping their fares as low as possible and reasonable for the customers. In regard to the overall quantity of AirAsia, such as the airport, the product they sell on board, the services from the staff, inclusive the comfort on their cabin, the charges for extra baggage and last-minute seats, the food and the beverages, cleanliness, as well as the service ratings, AirAsia was nominated as the 3-star low-cost airline. Moving on to the values, AirAsia have 7 values. The first one is dare to dream. It mentions that innovation makes a progress which to be consistent and have the outbreak of both, a change must occur. We can clearly see that AirAsia is passionate in constantly finding alternatives to differentiate their products and services. People first. AirAsia is a company that truly takes into account the opinions and concerns of their people and the customers. It has been their key to success in maintaining and increasing the satisfaction of their employees to work with their company and increase their ability fulfilling the needs of their customers. Make it happen. With the aim of consistently being the best low-cost airline, AirAsia made it possible by learning new things at a fast pace to always be competitive in the market. However, their target is always to keep everything at the lowest price and the lowest cost as possible. Be guest obsessed. AirAsia has proven their ability in becoming among the top target of the customer in finding excellent yet low price airlines with the awards they have won. They managed to do it by understanding the wants of their customers and giving them more than their expectations. One AirAsia. It means that a company has always worked towards the same goals and objectives, which explains why they are able to sustain the business with excellent performance of awards. This can be clearly observed in the no-gap relationship of the employees despite their position in the company. Safety always. AirAsia believes to achieve the impressive level of safety, it takes everyone, both employees and customers, to be doing their part. Cooperation has made it possible for them to fly with excellent security. And the last one is sustainability spirits. They have always believed that the actions they choose today will be the result of tomorrow, to which it motivates them to give their best today as their spirits determine the sustainability of the company. I will pass to the next presenter. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Liza, so I will continue to present for my part, ASA service. For the first, service provided by EASA. EASA is company that provide the low price airline. EASA is headquartered in Malaysia and provide transportation service to its passenger along with cargo and courier service. It was named as the best low cost airline company in the world for 9 consecutive years at the Skytrade World Airline Awards. It offers a new definition of affordable travelling with its tagline, now everyone can fly. Okay, for second ASA service, ASA provides service destination, which is ASA start with only two Boeing series and started the first point to point flight. And today we can see ASA handle flight service with extraordinary flight frequency, with connect domestic and international flight to more than 165 destinations with 25 countries. EASA also provides service destinations such as in Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Brunei, and more countries. The third in EASA service, EASA provides service such as business process operation on internet. As we know, EASA business process and operation is more focused on and foster a dependency on internet technology. It also provides an online ticket booking service to traveler online. As we can see on the slide, picture show the homepage of easia.com as the company key channel of marketing and sales. At EASA website, customer can buy ticket, flight and other service that EASA offer in website. And lastly, other service EASA provide is, as we know, the company EASA is constantly using innovative solution to provide low-cost transportation. EASA also offer various seats to accommodate passenger comfort from economy class to premium flatbed. Since 2018, EASA has embarked on a transportation journey to become more than just an airline. with the inclusion of hotel, holiday, activity, online, shopping and more on its travel, lifestyle and e-commerce platform and digital service via its money app BigPay. ASA website service customer can enjoy and choose what service they needed other than buying flight tickets. For example, during customer buy online flight ticket, customer can add on can add on service such as insurance, luggage, hotel and foods. In food service, ASA offers Santan menu with option to customer buy on board with offering food drink with other merchandise and duty free for purchase. Pre-purchasing of Santan meals is available at a lesser price than those who bought on board. Okay, next slide. I will pass to Putri.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Putri and I'll be talking about AirAsia's current approach towards the environment. Next slide. Okay, there were many points that can be highlighted, but I'm going to talk about these three main points. Okay, so firstly, AirAsia aimed to reduce their carbon footprint, and to do so, AirAsia has implemented a carbon offsetting and reduction for international aviation, also known as CORSIA. CORSIA is a scheme that helps to accomplish carbon neutral growth. And for that scheme, AirAsia has set up a short, mid and long-term goals from 2021 to year 2050. And this scheme supposedly helps AirAsia goals to reduce at least 50% of the carbon emission by 2050. Next, in minimizing carbon footprint is through the reduction of greenhouse gas, also known as GHG. So the World Economic Forum stated that they have expected that the carbon emission will rise again after the lockdown restrictions have been lifted and the recovery process begin. So by reducing the GHG emissions, AirAsia are able to slow down the climate change and also reduces air pollutants. For a healthier environment and pollution prevention, AirAsia has minimized the use of fuel and electric. Since the pandemic has reduced the travel demand and fuel consumption, it has made carbon emissions to drop by 75.5%. And the last approach towards the environment is the eco-efficiency of operation. This approach includes waste management, cabin waste management, and water waste management. So during the pandemic, AirAsia has experienced a great reduction in waste generated because the flight operations during that time has been decreased. And for cabin waste management, all of the waste material like plastic, paper, aluminium, glass, and metal will be collected at the end of every flight to be recycled. And results from this, AirAsia is able to recycle 18,000 kg, even though the flight operation has been reduced. Next, in water management, AirAsia has implemented several ways, including water-saving features in every restrooms. From this management, AirAsia water consumption during 2020 was 35% lower than year 2019. And that is all for current approach towards the environment. Next, I'll pass to the next presenter.
Okay, thank you, Putri. Okay, now my name is Muhammad Zuhairi, and I will present about. I will discuss about their corporate social responsibility. Okay, next slide. Okay, AirAsia CSR. AirAsia team up with the National Cancer Council of Malaysia, which is MACNA, to assist collect funds for cancer sufferers and educate Malaysians about the disease danger. Okay, Malaysians are being diagnosed with cancer in frightening numbers. Cancer is the country's second greatest cause of death, according to official statistics. AirAsia team up with the National Cancer Council of Malaysia to assist collect funds for cancer sufferers and educate Malaysians about these dangers. In the recently concluded Marketing Excellence Awards Malaysia, the move earned AirAsia a silver in the Excellence in Corporate Social Responsibility category and a gold in the Excellence in Social Media Marketing category. Okay, next. AirAsia has a CSR effort called which is AirAsia Makna. Then they're using creative techniques to help disadvantaged cancer patients who cannot afford treatment. They think that through assisting Makna in raising cancer awareness, they will be able to contribute to society. They thought it was quite a point and in line with our own ongoing campaign, their own ongoing campaign when Media Prima invited them to collaborate on that travelling beruang project, which also benefits to Makna. Furthermore, the travelling beruang campaign aims to raise awareness for cancer affected youngsters. Okay, since 2004, Malaysia Airlines and Mercy have collaborated to give assistance and relief to victims of natural disasters. Mercy Malaysia will establish volunteer opportunity programs for Malaysia Airlines employees to prepare them for possible participation in relief missions in Malaysia and elsewhere. Malaysia Airlines was able to assist in natural disasters such as the tsunami in 2004, the earthquake in 2005, and the Johor floods in 2006. Since 2010, AirAsia has partnered with Malaysia's Children with Society to grant the wishes of children with life-threatening disease. Moreover, as we can see, the CSR for international, as Thailand was ravaged by floods, AirAsia partnered with Sifa Restaurant to feed flood victims and chartered a jet to Nakhon Sawan province to distribute 2,000 emergency kits, medicine, canned food, and other necessities. I think that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zohairi. Now my name is Faris Shabildani, and I will explain about the corporate governance in AirAsia. Okay, next slide. Okay. Every company is headed by a board which assumes responsibility for the company's corporate governance and is collectively responsible for meeting the objectives and goals of the company. AirAsia Group Berhad, also known as the AAGB, or the company has a board of directors that is responsible for overseeing the overall management of the company and has complete and effective authority over its operations. The board of directors should establish the company's strategic goals, guarantee that the required resources are in place to fulfill those goals, and evaluate management performance. The board of directors should establish the company's principles and standards, as well as ensuring that the company's commitments to its shareholders and other stakeholders are understood and fulfilled. There are 7 goals of corporate governance that AirAsia will look for to accomplish for its employees in the company. Next slide. Okay, the first goal is to promote good corporate governance culture, also known as CG. This means the board, in collaboration with the Chief Executive Officer or the CEO and senior management, is dedicated to developing a positive CG culture across the AAGB group of companies by supporting ethical, prudent, and professional behavior, as well as identifying and formalizing best practices. The board believes that sound and effective CG practices are critical to ensure a company's smooth and transparent operations in order to attract investment, maintain long-term shareholder value, and protect stakeholders' interest. The second goal is to guide the strategic business directions of the group and oversee the conduct of the group's businesses and investments. This means the CEO is in charge of steering and directing the group's business direction, developing, implementing, and monitoring strategies for the group, and in this age of digital transformation, exploring new business opportunities within the digital aviation related industries. The board, on the other hand, participates actively in the development of the company's strategy and oversees its implementation through board meetings. The board also reviews, challenges, and decides on management's proposals for the group and monitors its implementation by management to ensure that the strategic plan of the group supports long-term value creation, which includes strategies on economic, environmental, and social considerations underpinning sustainability. The third goal is to supervise and assess management performance to determine whether the business of the company is being properly managed. This means the company, which is AirAsia, works within a framework of sensible and effective controls. The board delegated responsibility for the day-to-day running of the business to the CEO. During each quarterly reporting meeting, the board monitors management's performance under the leadership of the CEO through a status report that is tabled before the board and contains a thorough assessment of the group's operating drivers and financial performance. The board is also kept up to date on important strategic initiatives, major operational difficulties, and also the group's performance. The fourth goal is to ensure that senior management has the necessary skills and experience, and there are measures in place for the orderly succession planning of the board and senior management. This means the board is responsible for ensuring that the company and the group has effective and orderly succession planning for the board and senior management. The board is in charge of making recommendations on the nomination policy, succession planning framework, and training programs, as well as reporting on performance and areas for improvement at the conclusion of each fiscal year and any other related matters for directors and senior management. Uh, the, the fifth goal is to adopt a sound framework for risk management and internal controls. This means the board of directors is committed to overseeing the group's internal controls and risk management systems, including reviewing their adequacy, integrity, and effectiveness in order to protect shareholders' interests and group's assets. The sixth goal is to have effective communication for the stakeholder engagement. This means the board is dedicated to keeping its stakeholders informed in a timely and effective manner. For successful public distribution, the group uses a number of formal channels, including the annual report, announcements, quarterly financial results, and media releases, all of which are released to Bursa Malaysia and published on AAGB's website. The investor relations, share registry, and other email addresses are listed on the AAGB website's contact page. The last goal of the corporate governance of Asia is to ensure integrity of the company's financial and non-financial reporting. The board emphasized the necessity of embracing integrity and ethical values across the organization as it carried out its governance monitoring to ensure dependability, timeliness, transparency, and compliance with relevant requirements. The company's financial and non-financial reporting follows the same guideline with regard to adoption and implementation of AAGB's anti-bribery and anti-corruption policy, which has been in fact since June 1st, 2020. Now, the management undertook a gap analysis to guarantee that the ABAC policy is followed in all dealings that potentially lead to bribery and or corruption. That's all from me, and I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Farish. Okay. My name is Farhana binti Muhammad Farish, and I will be presenting some of the critique and provide some recommendations to improve on the performance of the organization's CSR. So next slide, please, Ms. Lisa. Okay, so the Malaysian government had officially announced back in September that Langkawi will be open for tourism to fully vaccinated local tourists. That made everyone book flights to Langkawi as soon as they heard the news. This made AirAsia one of the top choices for people to make a last-minute booking rather than any other airlines due to their low-cost flight tickets. So, regarding the great news after being on lockdown for many months, people are excited to finally go on vacation again. And a few hours later, most of the hotels and flights to Langkawi were fully booked. Nonetheless, there were a few issues during their journey to Langkawi. First, AirAsia, for some reason, keeps notifying their passengers about their rescheduled flight time. This made people a little bit upset due to the fact that they had already planned their journey from the house to the airport at a certain time. Also, after understanding that AirAsia had rescheduled their flight, passengers were able to choose whichever seat that they wanted. Some might see this as a good news because they are able to choose the window seat and able to look out of the view from up top. But this also means that the seats are random, meaning that if a family is traveling together, they would be separated from each other as per my experience before. Hence, when entering the flight, we were welcomed by a steward or stewardess and walked straight to our assigned seat. The aisle, the aisle was narrow, so it took some time for passengers to get inside the airplane one by one, and having to wait for other passengers to place their carry-ons on the cabin, which made other passengers exhausted due to their heavy bags. Not only that, there are rude passengers who do not consider other passengers and just throw their bags onto the cabin without sorting them nicely, just so that they can rest earlier on their seats. Next, passengers usually complain of their really small and tight seat space. For smaller passengers, it might not be a big of an issue, but for taller and bigger passengers who have longer arms and legs would mean they have limited space and movement, so they are not really comfortable, especially during longer flights or if there is any turbulence due to the weather. But regarding AirAsia for affordable ticket price, it is what the passengers have to deal with. Although, due to the ticket price, it is understandable that the airplane has tight spaces between the aisle and the seat. Stewardess and stewards are still able to offer food to their passengers from row to row by pushing and pulling the trolley cart, carrying all their packed foods for hungry passengers to fill up their stomach before they land. Which brings up to our next point. While passengers are up in the air, it affects everyone's taste buds, so it makes everyone's rated their food as delicious, as they are delicious, but they are overpriced for food that is being served in an aluminum tray and bottled drinks. Next slide, please. So some of the recommendation is that next slide again. Some of the recommendation that we would like AirAsia to improve is that for them to be constant with their flight schedule and to not having to trouble their passengers to choose their seats and to make changes with their original plans, because as we all know, we have to be at the airport a few hours early to check in the extra luggage, and to drive to the airport is time consuming since it is not near the city. Other than that, is to reconsider their food prices as well, due to the fact that the packaging they use to bring in the airplane is cheap and would end up being in the trash can. So that is all from my team and I. Thank you, sir, for your time.